Dr. Seth Berkley is the CEO of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. Since its inception in 2000, Gavi has helped to immunize a whole generation, over 822 million children, and prevented more than 14 million deaths, helping to halve childhood mortality in 73 lower-income countries. Prior to Gavi, Dr. Berkley founded the International AIDS Vaccine Initiative and served as an officer of the Health Sciences Division at the Rockefeller Foundation and the Center for Infectious Diseases of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. His TED Talks have been viewed by more than 2.4 million people, and he has published hundreds of articles and opinion pieces. Hello, Dr. Berkley. Please tell us about the success of Gavi.
So, by any measure, Gavi has been really successful. We've now immunized more than 822 million additional children. We've also done campaigns that brought vaccines to another 1.1 billion. But what's more important is what's happened to the outcome now. We've seen vaccination overall rates rise. We've seen vaccine-preventable diseases reduce by 70%. And we've seen that contribute to over 50% reduction in child mortality. Pretty extraordinary statistics, and it shows the power of partnership.
I know Gavi is focused on management and leadership. How do you tackle the complexities of delivery in Gavi?
Well, one of the challenges, of course, is vaccines don't save anybody. Vaccinations do. So it's about getting it into people's arms. And of course, it's about reaching that last mile. And that's absolutely critical. What we know are the so-called zero-dose children are responsible, even though it's only about 10% of children are responsible for 50% of the child deaths, and about 2/3 of those families live in poverty. So we have to be reaching out.
And these logistics get very technical and critical to manage. I've heard you've even been using drones as an implementation tool.
So the idea was, could we use new tools to be able to leapfrog bad roads or leapfrog bad weather and be able to deliver? Initially, we started in Rwanda with a company called Zipline, and although it started as an idea for vaccines, it was initially tested with blood, and it turned out blood was a real killer app because you really couldn't build blood banks around the country and have all the different types of blood necessary and the different products. Whereas if you had an emergency, if you had a woman who was bleeding after a delivery, or if you had a car accident, or if you had a malaria case that was very anemic, you could ask for a specific type of blood, and that blood could be delivered within 20 to 30 minutes. And if you needed more, you could get more. So wastage went down to zero. We were able to save many lives using this technique. So at the end, then it shifted to broader commodities, including vaccines.
Fascinating. How exactly did the drones work?
So the way it sets up is there are what are called nests, and those are the areas that have the drones set up. And for example, with a blood bank, you can have the blood bank right there. And then when it is needed, these are autonomous drones that fly over to a specific location, and they reduce their altitude and they drop the product with a little parachute in a paper box. And that's in a very small area, about the size of a car, is the landing zone. And so the health worker gets a message saying your blood is coming, your vaccine's coming, and they just go right outside and pick it up. That also means you don't need an extensive cold chain. And this has been really important for things even like COVID vaccines now. When the first COVID vaccines arrived in Ghana, they were the first day delivered to all the different regions through the 4 nests, and thousands of doses got out to get to health workers very, very quickly. And so it is an extraordinarily powerful tool.
Thank you so much, Dr. Berkley. Leadership is not just done by individuals, but sometimes it takes an institution to lead the way. Leadership, science, and management are intertwined in solving big problems in the world. Invoking this triad moves us from thinking about solutions to our global problems to actually acting on them. One might imagine that with just the right science and the right management, things can happen, and sometimes they do. But the real secret ingredient to tackling problems is leadership.